Investors are still kind of shell-shocked. They don't really get what's going on, but they will. There's going to be a wave of money coming in to these stocks. And
Peter Schiff says silver just did something no one expected. It pushed past $100 and closed around $102.50. Gold isn't far behind, sitting just under $5,000. But he's very clear. This isn't something to celebrate. To him, gold and silver moving like this is a warning. The dollar is weakening, commodities are waking up, and investors are only starting to shift into real money. In this video, Peter breaks down what this move really means, why it may still be early, and how he's looking at metals and mining stocks right now.
And what a week to wrap up. The star of the day was silver. I guess not just the day, but the week. Silver surged about $6.50 today, something like that. It blew through $100 an ounce. We ended up closing around $102.50. All-time record high. Silver's never been above 100. Of course, once it got to 100, it wasn't resistance. It just blew right through it. And now we're above 102. Gold also not too shabby, up about 45 bucks or so, but it couldn't quite make it to 5,000. Gold went out at around 4,980 or so. In fact, I don't think it's actually finished trading yet, so we'll see. But 5,000 is probably not going to happen until Sunday night. In fact, I think gold is going to do to 5,000 what silver did to 100. And again, that may happen Sunday night, Monday. In fact, the percentage gains, listen to these numbers. Silver was up 6.6% today. On the week, it was up 15%. And so far this year, which, we're only maybe, I guess, 3/4 of the way through January. We got another week left. But so far this year, we're up 45% in silver. Now, that's on top of the spectacular gain from last year. Another 45% this year, and we still have a week to go to finish January. And people didn't believe me when I said I thought the metals could do even better in 2026 than they did in 2025. Well, we're already off to a much stronger start to this year than last year. Remember, most of the rise in silver happened towards the end of the year, and now the momentum has continued in the beginning. Gold up about 1% today. On the week, just under 9%. I think about 8.8%. This was the best week gold has had since, I think it was March of 2020. And that was a big rebound from a COVID sell-off. So gold had a great week because it got killed the week before. That's not what's happening now. Gold had this great week when it was already trading at record highs. Right? So it wasn't a distressed, bounce back. This was pure momentum breaking out to record highs. And I think that there was some resistance at 5,000. And that's going to give way, I believe, on Sunday night. Year to date, gold is now up better than 15%. I think just over 15.5%. Again, we're not finished with January yet. This could be a better year for gold than last year. Of course, the gold mining stocks, the silver mining stocks, all making new multi-year all-time record highs today. Now investors are finally moving into this sector, but they still didn't gain nearly enough to make up for the lost ground. Given how much the metals have moved and how much higher gold company profits are going to be, the current stock prices don't even come close to reflecting that reality. So I think investors are still kind of shell-shocked. They don't really get what's going on, but they will. There's going to be a wave of money coming in to these stocks and to precious metals, physical precious metals, going forward for the rest of the year, next year, and especially, too, when we get the money coming out of Bitcoin, which, by the way, Bitcoin was down 6% this week, not digital gold, the anti-gold. And year to date, Bitcoin is positive, but just barely. it's up 1%. I expect that to change by next year. A lot of people, these hodlers, are holding and hoping, and they're expecting Bitcoin to catch up to gold and surpass gold. Not going to happen. In fact, the people who have been waiting are going to throw in the towel. The speculators in the ETFs are going to sell, and the bottom is going to drop out of this market. A lot of the people that are in the Bitcoin ETFs raise the money to make those investments by selling their gold stocks and their silver stocks. That was a huge mistake. When Bitcoin hit 100,000 in December of last year, December of 2024, right after Trump won the election, and everybody was having a Bitcoin, 100,000 party. What they should have been doing, instead of celebrating at those parties, they should have been taking profits. They should have been selling their Bitcoin, which is now more than 10% below 100,000. And they should have been buying silver, like I said, because had they done that, they would have almost 4 times as much money today had they just made the switch from Bitcoin to silver. Now, it's not too late, because it's going to get even worse for the Bitcoiners if they don't get out and get into silver or get into gold. And by the way, I didn't see any silver 100 parties raging today. But this is a much more significant milestone as far as I'm concerned. I mean, silver's a real deal. Bitcoin is just a speculative mania, in nothing. So yes, the fact that a speculative mania drove the price of nothing up to $100,000, yes, I mean, it's something to consider, and it was an impressive feat, but, it's nothing to celebrate. Now, of course, maybe $100 silver isn't something worth celebrating either, because the reason silver is going up and the reason gold is going up and the reason they're going to keep going up is not good news. This is a reflection of bad things that are going to happen, not just bad things that have already happened, but metals are forward-looking to bad things that are going to happen. Now, bad things are going to happen to people that own Bitcoin. They're going to lose all their money, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about much more significant bad things in the U.S. economy that are going to impact average Americans in a very profound way and in a very negative way. And it's going to be way worse than, how things were during the 2008 financial crisis or during the COVID pandemic. I mean, the COVID pandemic, yes, it was, a pain in the ass because you couldn't go to restaurants, you couldn't travel. But remember, people had it pretty good during the pandemic. They didn't have to work. They could stay home. A lot of people just stopped paying their rent. They didn't have to make payments on their student loans. They got all this money coming in from the government. And they went on Amazon and they shopped and they bought things. And yeah, I mean, people did go to, parties, and they found ways, to entertain themselves, despite all the masking and the stigma of going out. But people generally had a good time during COVID. Kids didn't have to go to school, right? Teachers didn't have to work and go to school, right? But what's about to happen is going to be significantly worse, because even if you get a check from the government, it's not going to buy you very much. That is the problem. We are on the verge of a massive collapse in the dollar. In fact, the dollar really tanked today. The dollar index dropped to its lowest level since October, right? Dollar index was down just about a full percentage point. Looks like we closed around 97.4. The U.S. dollar is about 0.5% away from a new all-time record low in the Swiss franc. And I believe we're going to crash through that next week. This is a sign. The world is losing confidence in the U.S. dollar, and they are buying the Swiss franc. Now, obviously, they're buying gold, even more than the Swiss franc. And now they're buying silver. That's also helping to power commodities. Oil was up almost $2 a barrel today. Many of the oil stocks are at new 52-week highs today. They are forward-looking. I've been saying on my regular podcast for months now, oil is bottoming. In fact, we couldn't go significantly below 60, even on the Venezuela news. And even with all this new Venezuela oil being dumped on the market by Trump, prices held. And we're about to explode. And it's not just oil prices that are going to go way up. It's going to be agricultural commodities. This is a huge commodity bull market. All of this, of course, is going to bleed into consumer prices. But not only is it going to force consumer prices that are already high and moving higher, but they're going to go up even faster. But it's also going to put upward pressure on long-term interest rates, which are also rising. Yields on the 10-year and the 30-year treasuries are now back above where they were before the Fed cut rates by 75 basis points. But we're going a lot higher. And one of the reasons for this is Donald Trump and the speech that he just gave at Davos. And I spoke quite a bit about that on my podcast that I recorded yesterday. And it's an hour-long podcast, so I said a lot, and I don't want to just repeat everything. So once again, I'm going to say that if you're watching this podcast, when you're finished...
So this isn't about chasing prices. It's about understanding the message the market is sending. If this helped you see the bigger picture, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what comes next.